Alrighty, so here's day two of the masterclass. So we're going over how to calculate macros and go over how to calculate your protein. So the mindset needed in order to achieve greatness, because we touched base yesterday on mindset. So just to kind of do a little recap, to have a successful transformation, you have to have the right mindset behind what you're trying to accomplish, right? You need to have the all-in mentality. Burn the fucking boats. And what burning the boats means is you don't look back and you go all in with your goals and you set yourself up for success, right? The journey isn't going to be handed to you. It's not going to be easy, right? It wasn't meant to be easy because if it was easy, everybody would be a Greek god, right? So life will throw you curveballs, right? And this shit will get tough at times. You can either quit when times get tough and be a sorry bitch, or you can continue on with the good fight, which is going to make you stronger in the end and 10 times better, in life. So when I was prepping for my show, guys, you remember yesterday I was talking what I was talking about. That shit was not easy. Every time I prep for shows, life is always throwing me curveballs. But my goals are so important for me that I pursue on anyways, right? So that's the mindset you need to have. Burn the fucking boats. Go all in. So how to track your macros, right? Ways to calculate your maintenance calories. And your maintenance calories, if you don't know, is pretty much where you stabilize yourself. You're not gaining weight, you're not losing weight. So I kind of made a little mathematical formula for you guys that you can kind of go based off of, right? So ways to calculate your maintenance calories is by multiplying your body weight times 15, right? So this is how I used to do things myself. So example, if you weigh 180 pounds, you times it by 15, right? So that would be 2,700 calories of what your maintenance calories should look like, right? And then when you're cutting, you want to decrease anywhere between 2 to 500 calories from your maintenance calories. So if your maintenance is at 2,700, to be at a cut, you should be around like 2,200 calories and then slowly cut down from there, right? Don't be that guy that goes on a cut and starts eating fucking, I don't know, 0 calories a fucking day, starving himself. That's not how you should do it, right? You got to just slowly cut your way down. So the reverse diet, this is huge, right? Because some people might not be able to be, up to par with their maintenance calories. I meet tons of guys and just tons of guys that join my program all the time that their metabolism might be a little slower than what it should be at, which is fine. So you have to do a reverse diet to revamp your metabolic rates to get up to your maintenance calories. And doing so is going to be more of like a recomposition with your physique, right? So let's just say you're the type of guy, maybe you're eating 1,200 calories a day, 1,500 calories a day. You might need to do a reverse diet to get yourself up to a good maintenance phase. And then once you get your good maintenance phase, you stay there for a couple of weeks, maybe even a month or two, let your metabolic rate keep up with the amount of food you're consuming. And then you can go on your cutting phase and cut back down, right? So when starting off, if you're not used to tracking your macros, you want to get to your maintenance, right? Oh, I think the typo. When starting off, if you're not used to tracking your macros and want to get to your maintenance, then you want to start with lower calories, then working your way up. Because let's just say you do the mathematical formula that I give you, right? And you try to eating like 2,700 calories a day or whatever number it gives you, but you're not used to consuming that much food, you're going to get fat and you're going to be force feeding yourself because if you're eating, let's just say 1,500 a day, and then you jump to like 2,500 a day, you're adding on an extra 1,000 calories that your body's not used to breaking down. And if you're force feeding yourself those extra 1,000 calories, your body's gonna like shit itself, right? And that's how you gain fat. And then you're gonna be like, oh fuck, what's going on? Why am I not, getting the results I wanted? It's because you gotta get your body used to consuming more food and slowly work your way up to that benchmark, right? So if your maintenance is at 2,500 calories, but that's too much, start at a lower rate, right? Start at 1,800 or anywhere that's comfortable in that range or whatever's comfortable for you and slowly work your way up and add anywhere between 100 to 200 calories every 2 to 4 weeks, right? And doing this will allow you to gradually increase your calorie intake and allow your metabolism to start working properly to prime into a fat burning machine. Right. And so that's going to allow you to really ramp things. And then during that transition phase, you will start to notice changes within your physique, changes within your composition of your physique, and you're going to start feeling overall better. Right. But you need to be consistent with this. You can't half-ass this, one day tracking, the next day you're not tracking. Right. Half-assing this will mess up your metabolism. And if your nutrition is half-assed, then expect to have half-assed results. And that's just the truth. So moving on to the next point, understanding macros. This is like the last point. This is like a very short call, right? And if you want, take a picture of this so you can understand how to do this mathematical formula. And if you're watching from Instagram Live, sorry, obviously you can't see my screen, but I'm going to explain it. So now the question is how to calculate your macros with your calories. And your macros is just pretty much your proteins, your fats, and your carbs, right? So what you do is you get 1 gram. So just to understand what, the macros, 1 gram of protein and 1 gram of carbs equals 4 calories, right? And then 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. And this is important for you to understand, right? Because when you're calculating your macros, this is how this is like the whole formula of what you need to follow, right? So when it comes to your protein, personally, I believe you should be consuming anywhere between 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 180 pounds, you should be eating 180 grams of protein a day. For fats, you want to keep them relatively low, especially when you're on your cutting phase. We're not trying to bulk here. We're just trying to get, we're trying to get right. All right. So this will take about 25% of your diet, right? 25%, right? To calculate them, you multiply your calories by 25% and then divide it by 9 because that's how many calories are in 1 gram of fat. So, example, let's just say you got your maintenance calories, you have 2,700 calories you eat a day. You times it by 25%, it gives you 675 calories. You divide that by 9. That's 75 grams of fat that you should be eating a day, right? Now you have your grams of fat, right? Then the simplest way to calculate your carbohydrates would be to add your calories from protein and fats and then subtract it from the total number from the calories that you are eating in a day and divide that by 4, which is 4 calories per 1 gram of carbs. So for an example, I'm going to break it down for you to make it easy. So for an example, you get 180 grams of protein. You times that by 4, right? That's 720 calories you're eating in a day just from protein, right? Now you already did the math for your fats. So 75 grams of fat times 9 is 675 calories a day just from fats. So what you do is you do 720 from your protein, 675 calories from your fats. You add them together. That gives you 1,395 calories, right? So then you get your overall number of calories that you're eating on a daily basis, which is 2,700 calories. You subtract it from the number you got from adding your fats and protein, and that'll give you 2,700 minus 1,395, which is 1,305 calories. You divide that by 4, that's going to give you the carbohydrates you should be eating a day, which is 326 grams of carbs a day, right? So your macros should then look like this. You're eating 2,700 calories a day, 180 grams of protein a day, 326 grams of carbs a day, and 75 grams of fat. All right. And the way you track your calories would be to download the free app called MyFitnessPal. If you don't know what that is, it's just a free app you download. And then you can track your foods on there and then add in the numbers that you came up with by doing this mathematical equation. And if you follow this and you stick to it consistently, whatever numbers you got, you should turn into a Greek god, right? And this goes for you as well. Like, let's just say, like I mentioned, the maintenance calories is too high for you. Like if 2,700 is too much for you or whatever number you got, start with lower amount of food, right? Anywhere that you feel comfortable with, and do the same exact formula, right? The math that I gave you, it doesn't matter how many calories, math is math, right? And so whatever it gives you, put that into MyFitnessPal and start tracking your foods. And boom, now you build consistency that way. And then you start learning how to manipulate your calories. You can start learning how to manipulate your carbs. And that's how you start learning to become a fucking G. And then eventually you can turn into a Greek god, right? So that's pretty much today's coaching call. Hope that helped. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And if anybody has questions, just go around the room and ask. How was that? Is that good?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That was tough.
I'm glad. Good understanding then?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely took a screenshot too, so I can definitely review that shit later.
Hell yeah, man.
So I got a question to start this off. So the biggest thing I've always kind of been confused about with calculating macros is, so let's say you're starting out like you're like 180, let's say, and then you calculate your macros, whatever your maintenance calories, subtract 500. What do you do when you lose weight? Do you recalculate your macros every time, like every day, or like every 2 weeks, or what do you do for that if you want to keep cutting?
That's a good question. So if you're already losing weight, don't fix what's not broken, right? Don't ever fix what's not broken. So if you're seeing results with what you're eating on a daily basis, keep riding the wave. The only time I would ever switch things up is when you hit a true plateau. But the way you know you hit a true plateau is by taking progress photos. This is huge. You got to take progress photos on a weekly basis, right? Because if you're taking progress photos and you're not relying just on the scale, because if you go based off just a scale, you're going to fuck your mind up. Like, oh my God, I'm not losing weight. But that's why progress photos are important, because you can see weekly, okay, am I seeing results with my photos? Once you stop seeing results for like 2-3 weeks, or even after 2 weeks, and you're tracking your food consistently, then you can say, you know what, let me drop my calories or make adjustments to the macros that I have. So just ride out the wave. Or what you could do is, increase your energy expenditure. Meaning, so if you're eating a certain amount of food a day, and let's just say you're only doing cardio twice a week, but you're losing weight, and then you hit a plateau, and you're not really seeing a difference in your physique from the photos, your progress photos, then just increase your energy expenditure. Maybe add in an extra 10 minutes to your cardio session, or add in an extra day. So instead of doing 2 times a day, go 3 times a day. Because the thing is, with losing weight, you never want to always just touch your food, right? Because if you're constantly just touching your food, it's gonna make, dude, I'm telling you, when you get low on calories, it starts fucking with you mentally. You get brain fog. You're gonna start like being like really hungry. So the more food you can eat on the cut, man, the better. So like right now I'm eating like 2,100 calories. I'm starving, right? But when I was eating 2,400 calories, I was still in a deficit, right? But I was able to enjoy life more. But now obviously I'm getting closer to show. I got to drop calories, so on and so forth. So the higher you can keep your foods and get results, the better. And I was at 2,400 calories for like 7 weeks, and weekly my body was making changes. The only thing I did differently was just increase my energy expenditure, getting more steps in through the day, adding more cardio, things like that. Make sense?
Gotcha. Thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
What's up, man?
Yeah, my question right now, I've been, in construction for a long time, and usually I'll be skipping on lunch. I consider that fasting. I don't eat till like dinner time. When I'm coming off a fast, do you consider me eating a certain amount of calories at that time, or should I start consuming more food, like going into actually eating 1,800 calories or 2,100 calories a day, and stop fasting?
Yeah, that is a good question. So do you fast by choice, or can you eat at work?
I can eat at work. By choice, I fast.
Okay. Why do you wait so long to eat? Is that just like your lifestyle? You like that more?
I do. I've gotten used to it right now for a long time, but right now it has helped me lose a lot of weight. I did start off at 240 at my biggest, and that was maybe a couple months ago, and right now I'm at 207.
Nice.
And
Nice, bro.
so I did hit a plateau between 213, and I wasn't coming down anymore.
Mhm.
And what I started doing was actually intaking more protein and eating a bit more, and that's what's brought me down a bit more too.
That makes
So
sense.
now I'm at 207. I don't know if I want to stay there or cut some more, but I actually want to get shredded. That's what I'm thinking at right now. So I think 200 is where I want to be at.
What's your macros at right now?
Macros. This is my first acknowledgement about macros. So I haven't even tracked that or seen that. I don't know where I'm at the time. So
I would say just like follow whatever I said here in the sense of like macro wise, figure out where your macros should be at. If you're not used to tracking, I would just say like start with like lower calories, get adjusted to that, and then work your way up. And if you feel like for you specifically, like with your lifestyle, you like fasting all day and you want to have a big ass meal at night and just feast, you can do that. I know there's this guy named Grego Gallagher. His name goes by Kino Body. He's huge on like fasting. You can look him up on Instagram. His philosophy is this: he'll fast. He wakes up at like 6, I should say. He doesn't eat though his first meal till like 3 o'clock. He'll have like a light meal. Let's just say he's eating 2,500 calories a day. He'll have at 3 o'clock maybe like a small ass meal, very like an apple, some rice cakes, and maybe like, I don't know, let's just say chicken and rice. I don't know, some bullshit. I just came up with in my head. But then let's just say that came out to like 500 calories, and now he has 2,000 calories left to eat in a day. Then at nighttime he'll have a big ass feast, and he's huge. Like he's a pretty wealthy guy, so he'll go to like a steakhouse and get a whole bunch of steak and potatoes and fries, things like that, and just fill up his calories. Right? So for you could do the same thing if you want to do that. Like if you like fasting and you enjoy it, by all means do what works for you. But make sure you're also learning how to track your foods. So then that way, when you consume food at nighttime, you're getting in your macronutrients. So then when you're resting, when you're sleeping, your body's breaking the food down, and that's going to allow you to keep on losing the weight, and then obviously help you put on size and muscle. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense for sure.
Yeah. Because I would never tell you to do something that doesn't fit your lifestyle. Because I could tell you, all right, man, start eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But if you don't like that, it doesn't really fit your lifestyle. You enjoy the fasting, dude, keep doing what works for you, but now just figure out your macros and start tracking your foods that way. And because fasting's great if you do it the right way, but you
Right.
will hinder your metabolic rate if you're not tracking your foods.
Morning or afternoon. It's fine. Matter.
Make sense?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Alejandro.
I got you, man. If you got any more questions, man, I'm here for you.
Now, what would you say are some key foods to either introduce more in your diet or just like new foods that like you've noticed kind of helped you?
Yeah, that's a good question. So when it comes down to like foods, dude, I just stick to the basics, me personally. Like this is basically what I eat: ribeye steaks, ground beef, chicken, salmon, tuna. Like those are my like 5 protein sources that I love. Carbs, I like English muffins, sweet potato fries that I put in the air fryer. I like russet potatoes that I cut up and put in the air fryer to make like French fries, jasmine rice. And and maybe sometimes oatmeal, right? I am the type of guy that like I don't need to have a lot of variety, right?
I
I
don't either.
those foods. Yeah, so like I would just stick to the basics. If you want to like, because you are tracking your foods, not like you're following a meal plan. If you want to add in foods that you like I don't know. I know people that will do like sandwiches and stuff. Like there's some bodybuilders that I know that legit will make a sandwich and they weigh everything out. You could do that, you know? It all depends on like what you like. So like you figure out, okay, what is Chase like? What do I like to eat on a daily basis? And just eat that. Like, yeah. Just be consistent with it. Yeah. Because there's no perfect meal. There's no perfect diet, right? It all comes down to just sticking to whole foods and then enjoying what you want to enjoy. And like that's really what it comes down to. Does that make sense?
How do you get Whole Foods for cheap?
Walmart.
Walmart? They got Whole
Dude,
Foods at Walmart?
dude, yes, I understand, bro. I still shop at Walmart because of the fact that I eat so much that I spend so much on food that I still go there. So like chicken, dude, $12 for a pack. Ground beef, like 11 a pack. Then like ribeye steaks, 11 to $12 per steak. And when you cook it, it's about like 12 ounces. So
Are you getting that cheap ass ground beef or are you getting that 97.7?
I get the
The 93.7?
the 93.7. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they do have like cheaper. I'll show you the ground beef that I buy. I'll show you.
Man, I didn't mean for this man to go get his fucking fridge out.
So like I buy this one. This is the one I buy. For those on Instagram, this is the one. So this is
Okay.
like higher acquired quality
With
brand
base rock?
and yeah, 93.7.
Sam first.
But yeah,
Right,
any
yeah.
questions? Any more questions?
Yeah, this one's kind of random, but
Yeah.
how do you cook your chicken breast to make it not taste like shit?
Good question. That's a good question.
Lemon pepper, bro.
Yeah, lemon pepper, man. Seasonings, bro. Seasonings. Season that bitch. Put it in an air fryer.
Air fryer?
Yeah, man, an air fryer is the goat. Or a lot of my bodybuilder friends do, because you know when you cook chicken and then after like the second or third day, the leftovers it's just dry, doesn't taste that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you do is you get a chicken breast, right? You season it up. If you have a crock pot, if you don't have a crock pot, I suggest buying one. It's really cheap, like
I
$100.
do.
And then you put the chicken breast, you get like 3 breasts or whatever, how many you can fit in the crock pot. And you fill it up with water, you season it, you make it take, put whatever you like, and it's gonna come out like soft. And then you get 2 forks and you start shredding the chicken. Dude, and I swear, my friends tell me, like, even on the 4th day, it's still moist, like still juicy, because it retains all the water from the crock pot of how it cooks. I don't know how it cooks it, but it's just however it does it, it makes it moist. So like it takes away the dry thing. Make sense?
Gotcha. So you fill the whole crock pot with water once the chicken's in?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, there's like instructions, like it'll tell you like the max where you have to put the water at.
yeah.
And then you there'll be like buttons and you just click the button that says like for chicken or whatever. And it takes like 4 or 5 hours, bro. So like let's just say you do it in the morning and you go to work or however your schedule is like, and then when you come back, it's like already meal prepped for you.
That's crazy. I'll have to try that.
Dude, yeah, it's goated. It's goated.
Crock pot the cheat code, bro.
Oh yeah. Wait, there's a question on Instagram. I want that. Yeah. Do you always eat high carb, low fats, or can you eat moderate high fat with low carbs? Do you always eat? I personally always eat higher carbs or low fats because that's on my bodybuilder. And that's, kind of, I just follow what my coach gives me in that aspect. But if the carnivore diet is also a cool way of going about things. But if you're going to do that, where you're doing higher fats, low carbs, you got to be consistent with it. And you got to make sure you're still tracking and eating a shit ton of food, because a lot, you'll mess with your metabolic rate if you don't. But all right, guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in.